RBD Defense.
India's S-400 cannot shoot down the J-10C. Sounds like clickbait, right? But it is the objective truth, and I will prove it in this video. The first S-400 regiment has been stationed at the Jammu and Kashmir sector along the Line of Control (LOC) since 2021. So the entirety of northern Pakistan is under India's S-400's 400-kilometer range radius. Yet the S-400 sat idly while Pakistani Air Force J-10Cs shot down 5 Indian fighter jets, including 3 Rafales, inside of India's own airspace. In this video, I will explain the complete failure of the Indian Air Force during Operation Sindoor. I will explain what India's S-400 is actually capable of and explain why the S-400 was completely useless during Operation Sindoor. Now let's start from the very beginning. On the night of May 7th, Indian fighter jets flew out from the Ambala Air Base towards the Pakistani border, where they struck 9 locations inside of Pakistan. According to Indian reports, these strikes were carried out by Indian Air Force Rafales. The Rafales likely used the AASM hammer-guided bombs for closer range targets and the Scalp EG cruise missiles for targets that were deeper inside Pakistan. So far so good for India. So far it sounds like Operation Sindoor is a success, right? But now is where everything goes downhill. Now is when India experiences the most high level of humiliation that any Air Force has experienced in the last decade. As the Indian Air Force Rafales approached Pakistan's border and fired their missiles, they were immediately detected by the Pakistani Air Force's AWACS. But how do I know any of this? Well, the Pakistan Air Force did a presentation on this battle, and on the board, what can we see? An AWACS. So when the Indian Rafales fired very close to Pakistan's border within their AWACS's range and gave up their location, very smart move by the way, the Pakistan Air Force AWACS sent the exact location of the Indian jets to the nearest J-10C fighter jets that were patrolling the area, who then adjusted their aim and fired towards every way back to the Ambala Air Base. And what did they fire? They fired the PL-15E, which is the best air-to-air missile that China exports. So as the Indian fighter jets are heading back to Ambala Air Base thinking mission successful, there is about a dozen PL-15E missiles moving at double their speed, going in the same direction, ready to tell the Indian pilots, hey bro, GG good game, better luck next time. And just like that, 3 Rafales, 1 Mirage 2000 and 1 Su-30 MKI all were gone, all shot down inside of India. Indian Air Force fighter jets are getting hunted down in their own country. Meanwhile, what is the S-400 doing? To answer the question of what the S-400 was doing, we need to talk about the actual practical applicability of India's S-400. Having good air defense isn't just about having a good long-range SAM system. Though the radars in an S-400 regiment like the 91 N6E Big Bird and the 92 N6E Gravestone are capable radars, they are not capable enough to monitor 400, 300 or even 200 kilometers inside another country's airspace. So even though the S-400's missile has a range of 400 kilometers, it can never lock onto any fighter jet or any other low-flying aircraft anywhere near that range or distance, because India doesn't have that kind of radar network needed for that level of surveillance. So in reality, Pakistan Air Force fighter jets can fly comfortably in their airspace without the S-400 ever finding them because of India's weak radar network. This might sound like I'm saying that India's S-400 is completely useless, but that is not the case. Unlike fighter jets, ballistic missiles fly very, very high, and if you didn't know, the higher something is, the easier it is for radar, especially weaker radar network like India's, to spot it. Now, even though ballistic missiles lack any sort of stealth, they make up for this by having immense speed. So whether Pakistan's ballistic missiles are fast enough to avoid India's S-400 completely is something that still remains to be seen. So in reality, the S-400 is really only effective against non-stealth aircraft that are very, very close, around 100 kilometers, and slower speed ballistic missiles. This is the actual practical applicability of India's S-400, not the shoot down anything in 400 kilometers that the Indians hype it up to be, which it is not. If it was what Indians hype it up to be, then it could have shot down every single J-10C and all the PL-15 missiles that were literally flying in India, hunting down Indian fighter jets. But it didn't do that because it can't do that. Also, I wanted to talk about something that I found funny. As I said earlier in the video, Pakistani J-10Cs, they shot dozens and dozens of PL-15E missiles inside India, in all directions that led to the Ambala Air Base. So some of them, of course, hit the targets and shot the Indian jets down. And the ones that didn't hit anything, they exploded in midair, and some sections of the PL-15E fell inside of India, which were some locals found them and took some pictures and stuff. That is how we found out that the PL-15E missiles were used. Indians were talking about reverse engineering loaded, like they were going to reverse engineer the PL-15s from the scrap that they found of the booster stage. Indian engineers could not reverse engineer a Chinese toilet, let alone a PL-15E missile. Anyway, thank you for watching the video till the end. If you want to support my work, subscribe to the channel. I'm getting close to 4,000 subscribers. Like the video, of course. If you like the video, like the video. That should be obvious. Leave a comment about what you thought about the video, what you think about the whole situation. Express your opinion in the comments. I try to read all the comments. I don't get to them sometimes because YouTube has like this filter thing, and I have to check the filter every month. It's a whole thing. I won't get into it. But yeah, thank you for watching the video till the end. I will see you in the next video.